Hi, and welcome to A Punk with Toys. My name is Lawrence, and today we're going to take a look at something that I've been waiting for, that I am super stoked on, and that is the 40th anniversary of Masters of the Universe 2-pack. This is the Skeletor and He-Man, the 7-inch. So, look at that bad boy. Oh, it looks wonderful. So, before we get started, if you don't mind, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification, and hit the like button so you're notified, of everything. You know the deal. It helps with the analytics. Who cares? You don't care about that because right now you went and you did that. So now you can listen. You're going to watch this video. So here it is. Wonderful artwork. Now, let me explain. This is just the box that houses this box, and it comes in another box. So you don't have to worry about this thing being damaged. So there you have this wonderful artwork on the front. You have He-Man's sword right there. You got Skeletor's head staff. And then on the back, you have He-Man and Skeletor. It does come with a ring. And honestly, it's like the other artwork for the origin stuff that I've been picking up, that I've showed you. And I just think it's just awesome. It tells you he's 7¼ inches tall. And Skeletor is 7 inches. So it tells you He-Man is a little bit taller. And then you have this ring of absolute power. And I mentioned before, I'm a little guy, so we're definitely going to see if it fits. So, without wasting any time, here's the box that it comes in. And it's kind of like this 3-dimensional. It's made to open up. Just looking at the outside, it's awesome. It's absolutely wonderful. I'll tell you, 40th anniversary. And we'll see if I can get it to open up properly. This probably isn't the best way, but so you open up and there's He-Man. And then there is Skeletor. And it has a little wording there. But I'll tell you what, we're not going to look at it like this, because I can't really look at it. Let's open it up together and see what we have. I know other people have seen reviews, but this is going to be the first time that I have. I've just seen a little bit of stuff. I haven't really watched it because honestly I wanted to be kind of surprised. So let's take a look at this and stop looking at this. Alright, so here's the front of the box and all its glory. I think it looks awesome. You can kind of see it's already open because this keeps falling. So in it there are these 3 pieces, and that's to keep this from smashing into that. So again, if you are an inbox collector, you could definitely open this up and just kind of show off exactly what you have. Or I have a feeling we're going to be able to kind of close it and put your figures in front of it. So this is all showing. Again, Barbarian, He-Man right there. This is awesome. They did a marvelous job just at first look. And then you look here, and it's packaged the same way that in Origins, or better yet, the original figures were. So here's the mightiest battles in the universe for 40 years. The almighty He-Man and the evil sorcerer Skeletor have been locked in an epic battle for the power of Grayskull to determine who truly is the master of the universe. So you have He-Man, most powerful man in the universe. Skeletor, evil lord of destruction. And I don't remember him ever being called that, but hey, who cares? So, little red tag here. So this thing just pulls off. So that's really cool. And even on the back, like everything here so far, there's your explosions. Put this to the side because I'm definitely not going to ruin this packaging. And here you have this nice foam cutout where everything's going to be held in. Doesn't look like there's anything. Oh, there's a couple of those spots where we have to cut. So this just comes right out. Super easy. Let's get... Again, while we're doing this, if you have not subscribed, take a second and just do it. It definitely helps out the analytics, helps out everything. I've watched so much on YouTube, and it is just absolutely amazing the stuff that they track and how they decide to push out content. So, all right, let's get Skeletor off. Come on, Skeletor. All right, Skeletor's out. There you go. I don't know why I showed you that. You've all seen plastic. And here's He-Man. Again, then little snips. Just snip these right off. Again, there's no reason to keep these figures in the box other than you are an inbox collector. And again, toys want to be free, like all of us. All right. Not a huge fan of trying to open up on video, but oops, I do like to do this so you get the first reaction. So right off the bat, take a look at him. He is, let's stand him up. Oh, it's a little stiff. All right. Now I've never had the Masterverse Skeletor. You have to adjust his legs there. But He-Man right off the bat, he is flocked. So I know Robo won't be getting him. Face sculpt looks pretty good. Definitely weathered a little bit, but it definitely looks way more like the original. I do have the Masterverse one right here. So for the most part, well, let's see. So these are completely, these look like they're different sculpts. The stomach, the abs are definitely different. Looking at the belt here, I would say the belts are different. These ovals here seem to be a little bit bigger than over here. Obviously, this is flocked. It looks very similar, but it's definitely not the exact same. Looking at the legs here, legs look to be the same. You get the same muscles. Boots are definitely different. This is more of a Xena Warrior Princess Hercules style, where these ones here look more like a G.I. Joe Classified or something. The top of the boot's the same, but the bottom is definitely different. And I'm going to say his chest here actually looks like it's a little bit more puffy. So it doesn't look like the body is as thin as this one here. And the head definitely isn't nearly as small. And I'm not going to lie, I don't even like messing with certain things like this, but so even looking at it, you can tell that the pegs on the heads are two different sizes. So, well, two different lengths. The neck is different. So, you know what? He-Man, I don't care. Look, this is going to be a long video if you guys haven't figured it out yet. So here we have his harness that he wears, which is way more like the original 80s figure. Now, he does seem a little loose up here. So you don't have the ab crunch. You have the rocker, which looks really good. But the way that this is set, like, you don't see it at all. So I really like that. Like, there's no break at all because this is what's moving. So if he was moving a certain way, this would be moving with it. So I think that's really nice. I like that. Looking at the arms here, the arms definitely look to be the same. It's got double pinless joints. Gets a good bend right there. Got a spot for his sword. There's his knees. It's a good bend there. He's got his thigh swivel. Boot cut. So far, ooh, that one's a little tight. I'm not going to mess with that one. That one's a little tight right there, and definitely not going to mess with that. I don't even know how I'm going to loosen that. I guess a little drier. Let's see here. All right. Knees bend. Arms bend. This is a little loose. Gotta say that's kind of disappointing, but oh well. I'm not going to cry too much about that. So let's look at his face sculpt. You can definitely see that this is supposed to be from the 80s. There's a lot of wash to it. He's got some dirty blondish brown hair. It looks really, I'll tell you that right there looking at it, it looks blonde, but it's way browner when I'm looking at it live. So the video here that I'm looking through definitely makes it look blonde, but in person, it's definitely a brown. So, all right. So let's stand him here. And just looking at him, yeah, I mean, he's definitely bigger than the Masterverse. So, I mean, man, they did a lot to make him. His body is much, much bigger. So, we'll move him to the side. Let's get rid of these little pieces. There's no reason to keep those. And now let's take a look at Skeletor. Now, he is supposed to have a jaw that opens up. So, super cool. Jaw opens up and jaw closes. I've heard people complain about the jaw being a little too loose. I guess his teeth don't stay completely together, but the jaw definitely stays up and then it drops down. So, I love that. If you do different types of stop motion, you're definitely going to be able to get him laughing and talking. So, same with him on his body here. Like where his chest piece is, you can't see because it moves with it, and it's a different piece. But it covers it up absolutely perfect. I love it. And his arms, he's got the T-pose. He's got his double bicep. Now, he's always had an issue. I do believe he had an issue before because this little piece kind of gets in the way. So he doesn't get nearly as much of a bend as He-Man. But not that big of a deal. They do have double pinless joints. He's much stiffer than He-Man. He can kick his own butt if He-Man's not doing it for him. Again, let's see here. He is much tighter than He-Man. No doubt about that. Thigh swivel. You hear that pop? I absolutely love that pop. Just something about it is so satisfying. Like his leg, that's weird. Both their right legs seem to be really, really stiff. So I'm not going to mess with that. Ankle rockers. Again, kind of stiff. So I'm not going to mess with that till I heat it up more. Because I do not want to break these. I absolutely love the way this looks. So when you look at it here, there's definitely some paint or discoloration here. You can see that he's got some, it's kind of beat up here, which is, I believe it's supposed to look like. Where this is actually all purple. This is a darker painted purple here. He's got his little silver spots up here. Looks really cool. And then he's got his light purple right in between his bones. Again, looks really, really good. I like it. And on the back, he's got a place for his sword also. And can't really look up too much. You can look down. I'm definitely interested. He-Man, again, really can't look up all that much, but you can look down. All right. So now let's pop out these comics. So here's the comics, and I do believe these are the original comics that came with He-Man. Is that what it was? I have to read it. But it's definitely a nice little story in here. Way more than what comes with the Origins figures. Tells you a lot more. Then you have this one right here. So same thing, there's Battle Cat, He-Man, jumping at Skeletor. It is definitely bent a little bit, but it's almost to be expected. You can see it's kind of bent up here, so it's not going to do a great job holding that in, but I'm going to have to read through this because I think this is going to give us way more of a backstory than what the little comics give us. So now let's get to the goodies, and these are the two weapons. And here is Skeletor's sword, which you can already hear it. It is full on metal. Same with He-Man's. Let's pull out the Havoc staff. So the Havoc staff here is plastic. The horns are plastic, but get that nice little clank. So the face, which looks absolutely wonderful, is metal. Again, plastic. Lost my train of thought. So everything else is plastic around it. Two swords look wonderful. They're the same sword. I'm looking over. They're different than the Masterverse. So they did not reuse too much between these two molds. And for $80 for these two figures, I think is absolutely wonderful. Got that nice little clang. I have a feeling that if you clang them too much, you're going to start to see paint and scrap. So I definitely won't be doing that all that much. And here is his He-Man's axe, which has some nice weight to it. And I think it looks awesome. I mean, you can see that it's got like some battle scars to it. So it looks really nice. It's got weight to it. You can hear it. Super cool. I like that. Let's grab a shield. Odd that Skeletor doesn't come with a shield. And let me just tell you, this thing is heavy. So this shield is definitely completely molded. Different than the Masterverse. Plastic on the inside so you can hold on to it, but everything else. So when Skeletor hits it, it's got that nice hard. It's obviously not a ping, like two pieces of plastic. Then we got two hands for each of them. Now my guess is these hands are probably the same ones for the Masterverse. I only have a few Masterverse figures. Ooh. Now, I like the way that it's packed. It's kind of a pain to pull out, but... So you have Skeletor with an open hand, which is something to be expected. And then he has his fist, so he can punch He-Man, which probably isn't going to help him too much. And here you have He-Man with his karate chop. And that's more for holding the shield than anything. And then you have his punchy hand. And then up top here, we have our Ring of Power. And this thing is definitely got some metal. It's got some red eyes to it. And when it opens, shows you the 40th anniversary of He-Man. Of course, that looks kind of chintzy, but let's be honest. This technically should be for kids. And here you have He-Man's sword on it. So you got two swords on both sides. And to show you how small I am, I actually can put it on my pinky and fit. I can't really bend it. I won't be working out with it or riding my skateboard with it. But I can walk around with this. Okay, so maybe I should have rethought that. So it is open. So technically, you can put a screwdriver in it and kind of pry it if you did get it stuck on your hand. But I'm going to say, like, just first glance at these figures, they're nice. I love the flocked. It brings out texture to it. You can see the wear on the boots. The flocked here is kind of how you would expect it to be. And then obviously his cloth down here. He's got a better color than the Masterverse. His gauntlets here are this nice hard plastic. So they feel better. It's nice and shiny. And you can pop it off if you want to. Looks like he's got a little bit of wear on his arms. Again, his hair is not nearly as yellow or blonde in person as in this picture. So it definitely looks like he was in a couple battles. So they definitely want to make it look like he had been fighting. We can throw a sword on the back. Give him his axe. And I've heard a lot of people say they like He-Man with his axe more. It's kind of funny. I never, ever liked using the axe. I think that's because the cartoon, he pretty much only used his sword. And here we have Skeletor. And his slides in right there. Not as easy or nice as He-Man's, but so not going to complain. And then, see if I can get this in. This, again, isn't always the easiest when you're trying to reach around a phone or a camera. Trying to watch what you're doing, hoping it stays in frame. So you have Skeletor. I think Skeletor looks absolutely awesome. This thing is really big, bigger than, you know, the ones I've had with him. When you look at it, so his boots have black through it. So again, they didn't, I mean, for 80 bucks for both of these figures, 80 bucks for the 2-pack, not for both. They didn't skip, man. I gotta say that. So you have black all through here, and you got his little duck feet. I don't think they did any wash here. It would have been cool if this was flocked, but I'm not really going to complain all that much because this hangs over. Even through here, there's black through it. I don't think there's any paint there. There's no paint there, but you got the silver little paints here. Even on the back, it looks like a nice buckle rather than just a little snap. He may have some, you know, it's hard to say if right there it's like cell shaded type, not cell shaded, but I think it's just the shading of the the lights that I'm seeing. And then even on his hood here, you can kind of see that there's black all through it. This nice textured. Again, this looks just awesome. Look at his eyes. They're nice and red. I do like the fact they didn't give you multiple heads. I don't think that was needed, but the jaw, I think, is such a nice touch. And because of the way that it's hidden around his hood, you don't see where the lines are. So I guess if you see there, yeah, I guess it doesn't stay up all the way, but pretty close. You could probably take a small bit of sticky tack if you wanted, and then close it all the way, and you wouldn't even see it. But his eyes are nice and red. He's got that nice yellow face. This is really nice. It is a really, really nice set. I'm extremely happy, even for the price of 80 bucks. But this is something that I definitely want to display and hold on to because it's a very sweet set. So I guess that's it. Guess we'll wrap this up and you guys can decide if it's something you want to go on the aftermarket. If you didn't get and buy, I'm not even sure how much they're going for. So we'll just wrap it up. All right, so there you have it. I hope you guys were able to bear with me. Sometimes I get long-winded, but again, this is my first reaction to these. I know in the beginning I used to open up the figures, I take a look at them. And with classified and some of the figures we already know that you've seen me do, I may still do something like that. But I really want to get first reaction of this. I've really avoided watching the unboxing of these. I mean, I saw what it was, but I didn't hear what people had to say. I think this looks awesome. And again, for 80 bucks, like seriously, 80 bucks for these two figures and all of this. And it was San Diego exclusive to get. And you spend 55 bucks on this piece of trash from Super 7. Man, it's not even like how someone can charge $55 and think it's a good price compared to, you know what, I'm not even going to try and stand him because he's going to fall because he's an idiot. But look at these things. They're awesome. I think they look really good. And if you're a Master of the Universe fan, it might be something that you go on the aftermarket and get, depending on how much you like it. Now, with that said, I guess when you get the 40th anniversary He-Man Masterverse, it may be close enough where you're like, hey, you know what? I don't need that. I would assume they gotta come out with a 40th anniversary Skeletor too. I don't know if they're going to do the mouth again, which is, it's a little cool. They're obviously not going to do the metal again, which I don't think is a huge thing. With the Masterverse stuff that I have there, when you look at this one here, it's pretty shiny for being plastic anyway. So not a big deal. I mean, it's cool. And it's something that's definitely going to last longer. And I guess technically, if I have to fight zombies, I could probably use it to puncture one in the head. Now I'm rambling. But anyway, I mean, I think this is awesome. That looks just so cool. Again, I think they knocked it out of the park with this. And the price really, in my opinion, as this Comic-Con exclusive, is really what it's all about. I think they did a marvelous job. Ooh. Don't want to go boom boom already. So anyway, here's He-Man. Here's your Skeletor. I'm going to get out of here. I think you guys have probably had enough of me. I'm going to play with my toys. Wrap this video up. He is a little loose. That's really my only complaint. He's a little loose, a little wobbly, but not too bad. But everything else, from the flocked, it really gives a texture, especially in person. So I'm going to get out of here anyway. You know the deal. All right. Like the video, subscribe, hit the bell notification. Definitely trying to get more views when it comes to Motu stuff and Master of the Universe. I mean, if you've been following me for that, you can know this guy's done a lot of videos. But anyway, the socials, you know, on Instagram and Twitter, A Punk with Toys. The Facebook group page, Punks with Toys. I will post a link to it that takes you directly to this topic. Join, have fun, small community. It's going to grow, just like the channel has been growing, thanks to all of you. So I'm going to get out of here. Have a wonderful night and happy toy hunting.